Alright everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be running the Pro Cycling Manager again, and we're going to be bringing it to you in the race. One of the races, the classics, it's already been canceled. This is Milano Sanremo, the 2020 edition. They said it could go on later on in the year, but its classic spot, uh, it has been canceled for now. So I figured, you know what, with everything that's happening and everybody being indoors and shut in, let's go ahead and use Pro Cycling Manager and let the race play out here on the game. We're going to go ahead and get all of our people set up here. From Michael Woods uh, is going to be riding for us. Daniel Martinez, Louis Villalobos, Lachlan Morton, Rigoberto Urán, Sergio Higuita, and Alberto Batol. And we are using EF Education First, Jonathan Valter's team. And we're going to see if we can't take us up on shore and bring home the victory. So we're going to bring everybody here up to the front and get them all up here so that we can get started in the race. And we got the Lobos up here, bringing Michael Woods up to the front, getting all of our people just set into place. Because like I've always done, just my strategy is I want everyone riding on the front. Some people prefer riding in the back, some people prefer riding in the middle, keeping the wind off of them. I'm like the real Team Ineos. I want to be up front because I've always had better success, and I've had people less likely to run into me. I mean, you can still crash at the front as well, but I just think I've had better success in the game
Counter-attack by
being
Mikel
up
Niva.
front. And there goes Chad Haga, Rohan Dennis, all taking off. And here we've got Martinez. Going to slow him down a little bit and get him back here in the pack. And
there's more than a minute on the clock. The brake seems to be working.
Let's see now. We have Rigoberto coming up here. Get all of our riders up front, all 7. I did notice that Greg Van Avermaet is in this race, as well as Alejandro Valverde and even Dylan Groenewegen. Those are all 3 people that we are absolutely going to have to watch out for in this race, because they are big powerhouses when it comes to the small hill finishes. Not so much so when we hit the big mountains, but in these classic races, somebody like Greg Van Avermaet, that's why CCC has him, and that's why CCC became a classics team, because they have Greg Van Avermaet, and they are looking to win the classics, the monuments, races such as that. And of course, this race is so long, nearly 300 kilometers, that we are going to fast forward, as we usually always do at times. The breakaway's already getting up over 3 minutes on us, and if we sat here for the entire race, we would be sitting here well over an hour doing nothing but watching the front of the peloton and our racers just sit here. So we are going to, here in a few minutes, just fast forward it, and that way we can get a little farther into the race. And if anything major happens, I have the notification set. If anything happens, it'll stop the race, at least slow it down, so we can see if there's a crash, fall, whatever. All in all, our team's coming in here, the team that we chose, the riders are in good shape. Martinez is one of our domestiques. He's at 95%, as you can see, left corner. But all in all, our riders are good. The reason I took Alberto as a leader is because Alberto's coming in at 98% fitness. And with him being a puncher, I mean, having the punching power to hit the small hills at the end. And as you can see, if you look down there at the bottom, this race has those two wicked little devil horns. And I plan to attack right before around 10 kilometers or so on the last little peak. So as soon as we get to the base of that last little peak, I'm hoping to take. And Sergio is also our dark horse. It's just according because he also has very good. I think he's somewhere around 96, 95% on his fitness. So he's going to be right there too. Rigoberto Urán, this is not his kind of race. And he's only coming in with like 90% fitness. So I don't really see Rigoberto having much. I actually only brought him in this race because, number one, it's a one-day race, so it's not like it's really hurting him in his real career. And I said, well, he would be the greatest first lieutenant closer to the end. I wanted to keep him protected at the first of the race. Only reason I wanted to keep him protected is because he is going to be doing big work as we get to the end of the day. Actually, I'm thinking that Michael Woods might also be another good option, and I have actually put him under protection. And I know normally that I would put Alberto under protection, but Michael Woods doesn't have as great of stamina, and so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and I'll put Michael Woods under protection, try to protect him. There's Chad Haga, you got Rohan Dennis here, this whole little group up here at the front. They've got, over a 4-minute lead on us, and we're just going to let the other teams pull them back. People like Tony Martin here up on the front riding. And Tony, Tony has really changed in the last year or two in the real ranks of pro cycling. I am really, really impressed with Tony Martin. He went from being just an absolute phenomenal time trialist, and you don't let Tony Martin get out in front, because if he gets out to a lead and he's 1 or 2 minutes up and you're coming into the closing kilometers, you just gave him a race. This man is a powerhouse, a big diesel engine that just turns out power. And so he's now taken on his role with his team with Jumbo Visma, just to be really their big diesel engine that sits on the front and just cranks out kilometers. I mean, this man is a monster. And so we're bringing it down, under 4 minutes here, bringing it down to the guys, and we're going to go ahead and fetch in another thing of water bottles, because as I've always said, 50 kilometers is about all you can get out of water. So I always like to make it to where I go get that last bottle of water around 50 kilometers, because if I send Martinez back, by the time he gets back up front, it's going to be around 40 kilometers. That way I never have to worry about them running out of water at the end and it cost me a race, because they were dehydrated and it cost me a race. So around 50 kilometers to go in a race, send your guys to the back for water, and keep an eye on him too, because in a lot of stages, that's where the action's coming from. They can get separated off the back. That is devastating, because I've had it happen to me where I wasn't paying attention. I sent them to the back. They got separated off the back, and I'm still sitting here thinking, now where's that water at? And I look, and he's 3 groups back, trying to basically fight his way back up. Well, by then, all my water bottles are flashing. Everybody's dying, and it's like, uh-oh, now I'm in trouble. And then I have to send somebody else. So always keep an eye on it. Around 50 kilometers to go, send the guy back.
Has fallen.
That's just the way I've always done it. That way I know that at 40 kilometers, I will not need water when we cross the finish line. Oh, we've had a fall with Bach Malama, and he's fallen off his bike. And I don't really see in this race Bach Malama being really a contender. Go ahead and send Martinez back again for water here in a second, just to bring it back to us. because we're getting down there around 90 kilometers, so we'll
There's
get
a
one more.
mass crash in
We'll
the
only
back,
have
but
one
it
more thing of
doesn't
water
look too
coming
serious.
after this. And so,
There
coming
are
down the
several
hill here.
riders
Oh,
who
we've had a
can't keep
fall.
up with the pace.
Had a fall. Big fall in that is Gouda. So, as you can see, we're starting to string out just a little bit, starting to string out. And, oh, guys trying to come get caught back on, but they're still off the back there. And go ahead and go back up front here in a second, get our water, and get ourselves taken care of as far as ready for the end of this race. We're at 77
Some team
kilometers or
managers must
so,
appreciate the fact that
getting
there is a
close, heading
breakaway,
down to
given that the pack
75.
has increased its speed.
They've only got a 2-minute lead on us. We'll easily crank that back. That's not any trouble at all. You know, Michael Woods up 98%. He looks good. His form looks good. I'm just a little concerned that Michael Woods may not have the power at the end like Alberto will, even like Hagita will. Those are just special athletes. Michael Woods is a good rider. I mean, he's a good Canadian rider, one of the best that Canada's ever had, I think, in my opinion. I don't know how he's going to be able to handle this last 70 kilometers or so in this race. So, but we're coming on up here and gonna
attack by Mikel Niva.
Fast forward it, get us closer to those two devil horns down there at the end, and get ready for this race to see what we can do. Oh, here's an attack up front. You got Nieve taking off. Of course, Dennis is going to easily close that back up. He's going to bring it right back together. And I don't think you're going to lose Chad Haga that easily either. He's going to be able to hang if they try to. Chad Haga is not the most powerful and explosive rider, but he's got heart, determination, and he can just drag himself back up
and here's
through any race. So, Chad Haga is actually a credit to the Team Sunweb. Is a good all-around rider. He may not ever win a lot of single day races. I don't know if he ever will really win a lot of singles, but I see him being more of when we race the tour races, like the Tour de France, the Giro d'Italia, the Vuelta a España. Those are his type races where he can go in a breakaway near the end of the Tour de France and everybody's tired. Chad Haga can come out there and end up winning it on top of a mountain when the leaders are just battling each other. That's where I see Chad Haga doing his most damage, and actually could make a really, really good career just doing that sort of thing. So I really like Chad Haga. I like his panache. He's all right. We're getting up closer to 40 kilometers now, and as we get closer to 40, we're going to make that last bottle stop, get our last thing of bottles, and get ready for this finale. We'll hit that first. I really want to make sure everybody's up front after that first horn, I guess we'd call it. The first horn that we're getting ready to come to. I want all my riders to be up here in the front, stay safe, keep them out of the way of any other falls. I mean, look at what happened with Balk and even Gouda. They had a fall, and so I want to keep everybody safe. And we're getting ready, and I was just taking a look at the people. I mean, you got Sagan, we've had Trentin here racing today, but Fuglsang, but Valverde, Groenewegen, and really and truly, I think Greg Van Avermaet will probably be some of the biggest competition that we would have in this race. Because Greg Van Avermaet is an absolute beast. And the race is starting to actually bust up. Hitting this first, and we're not even really to the first horn, the first hill yet, and we just had a crash. We lost Woods, Martinez, Lachlan Morton. That's it for them. Even if they make it back on, they're going to exert way too much energy. That's pretty much it. They're done. So at this point in time, that's going to leave strictly Batelli and Hagita as being our two leaders. Those two will have to be our leaders from this point out. We'll have Rigoberto now at this point become the super domestique, the super lieutenant, taking over and just trying to bring us home a victory. So the guys in the back trying to catch up, but there's no way. They're at the back of the pack. They're too far back. Villalobos is about dead. He's finished. So he's gonna come off here. And actually it's putting quite a few of us in the red. I noticed Alberto was hitting it a little. Hagita even had a little of the red. Now we're back down low. Now we've made it through. Dylan Van Barl fell. There's Tom Dumoulin fell. Quite a few riders have fallen in this race. And that's why we're staying right up front. Stay up front, stay out of the way, and be safe. We're coming down, like I said, around 10 kilometers, 10, 12. I want to attack. I want to get near the base of the climb, and that's where we will stamp it out and head up to the top from there. So as we get a little bit closer here to the end, I'm going to go ahead and stop it for a second. I want to actually bring Rigoberto Urán up, and we are going to take control with our super domestique, our super worker, Rigoberto Urán. We're going to run roughly about 90% on his effort meter, and I want him just to stay up front, use his energy gel, and I want him to stay up there and crank it out as long as he can, because once we get down here in a second, when we get to the bottom of that climb, we are going to hit it, see if we can't break away from everybody else. And right there behind Alberto is, I believe that is Greg Van Avermaet. So he is right on us.
10 kilometers
That's
to
the
the
one
finish
rider
line.
I wished was not there. So here we go. We are taking off. Yep, Greg's with us. So it's Hagita, Botello, and Van Avermaet are all cranking it out, heading up the hill. We got 121, 122, and number 16. So at this point in time, Hagita, he's pretty well done for, and his fitness wasn't as great. But here's Alberto's. His is going to be he's at 97%. I would really like to follow Greg Van Avermaet and just try to
None of the favorites is giving an inch.
stay with him. Let's see if I can bring Hagita back up to catch up. And there goes Van Avermaet hammering it again. So we're going to have to pick it up, and we are about dead. I'm afraid that Van Avermaet has this one. Because here we are going down the hill. We will not be able to. That is a powerful man out there in front. There is just no way that I believe we can catch him. Just no way at all. I'll try my best for us to catch up here and try to get on his wheel, but nope, still not there. Still not there. Now we're back down to the flats here. We'll go around this left and then take a right. Hit the 1 kilometer to go. And we are not close. We're just going to have to try to sprint it out right here. But this is Greg Van Avermaet's race, and we are going to take home second,
The
and we
race
are
is
going to
run,
take
but the
home
poor souls getting up the
third.
rear continue to cross the line.
So
It's a bit of
EF
a knock for the
Education
morale.
came out with a second and a third, which I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. And that is a really good. And here we go. You got Pascal Ackerman coming in fourth, Dylan Grunewegen coming in fifth, Fernando Gaviria, sixth position, Matteo Trentin, Jasper Stuyven. Wow, even Philippe Gilbert, 10th place.